Hi everyone, it is Tasha
and Joseph
from One Big Happy Life, and we had a different video planned for today, but I was just on YouTube, as you know I tend to do, and I was watching some videos and I came across two videos, one by Casey Neistat and one by Roberto Blake, both of whom we have followed for a long time. And they were talking about the pressures of being a YouTuber. And Roberto in particular invited YouTubers of all sizes to, encouraged us to all participate in the conversation and to talk more about it. And so we decided to take him up on that invitation and go ahead and go live and just talk about it, give you the real talk.
Yeah, so we're just gonna give you a quick rundown of some of the pressures that our channel faces and that we face generally. So I think the first one that's the most significant for us, especially initially, is how to deal with bad comments. So it's rude comments, angry comments, racist comments, sexist comments, or very intrusive questions or comments about just very personal things.
Comments about my weight, just comments about our relationship dynamic, just things like that, in polite society, we would never say these kinds of things. Like, people would never say these kinds of things, or else them be fighting words, and so I think the first thing that you should know about us, and Roberto touched on this, he talked about how a lot of YouTubers are introverts and have like anxiety issues and things like that, and that they're able to talk and be as engaging as they are on camera because it's just them alone in their safe space. And I think that's very true for Joseph.
I don't know about that.
Well, in terms of you not
You're assuming that this is a safe space.
But so for me, I'm this weird thing where I am private. So I didn't have an Instagram. We didn't have a Twitter. I only had Facebook because I signed up for that in college. And my Facebook friends are all people that I actually know in real life, family, friends, people that I went to school with. So a very small Facebook friend number. And then I got on YouTube and I didn't even publish anything about YouTube on my Facebook page until like a week ago, when we hit 40,000 subscribers. I said, well, this happened, and I posted a picture of 40,000 subscribers, and one of my law school friends was like, how come I didn't know about this? And I'm like, because I've been keeping it a secret. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And so we tend to be just really private, and so we don't interact with strangers. So we don't interact on social media a lot, or we didn't before YouTube, and so we didn't understand just how nasty people can be online.
So we tend to delete as fast as we can the really, really bad comments, but every once in a while we'll still, especially early on, we would still try to engage. And it's like, well, we're a family channel. We don't really think that that's appropriate behavior, but we didn't want to immediately dismiss people. But now it's just there are too many comments, and we just don't want people reading hateful comments within our channel. Like, if it's constructive discussion or criticism, well, that's completely different.
Yes, exactly. Completely different. We're not talking about disagreement. Like Joseph said, constructive criticism. We welcome that. We are all about the dialogue. We are lawyers, so we are used to, just kind of dissecting a thing and going back and forth about it. But what we're not used to is the lack of civility. And that people will say, well, okay, we'll just get a thick skin, or this is what you signed up for. And it's like, no, that's not actually what we signed up for. I don't think no person puts themselves out there expecting, for their appearance to be torn apart, or for their, people to question the, like whether or not we care about our children, or giving us like racist comments,
or whether or not we care about each other. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
So that there's a certain weight of just seeing that, because you don't run into that in regular relatively polite society. Even if people
Mhm.
disagree, they're not as in your face with it. And so that is certainly something that was very shocking to us.
And it weighs on you. Like Joseph said, you can't unsee it. You read it and it's this thing that you have to actively put energy towards, to segment, to remind yourself that, that person's opinion doesn't actually reflect who you really are. And actually, we just got this awesome book for Reeves that has a line in there about how someone else seeing you doesn't have any actual impact on who you are and on who you really are. But it takes work to remind yourself of that, especially early on when you're kind of just getting started in this journey, when you're a little shy, when you're creating these things and you're putting it out in into the world. And I mean, a little emotional, but you just want people to love it, And it's really hard when people not only not like it, but then they say cruel things too. And it's like, we have feelings, It's okay.
She wasn't thinking that she was going to get emotional over this. And we were talking about it before.
Wasn't. I'm a crybaby. I always have to.
Yeah. So obviously it can be a big deal. And okay.
So like we have someone on here saying stop whining. So, like that's the kind of nonsense that, and it, it also makes me angry. But I try to remind myself about that saying that like hurt people hurt people. So instead of taking it personally, I just remind myself that someone did something awful to that person that makes them want to lash out at other people and to say mean things to other people, because I can't understand why like people would want to hurt other people like that, So
yeah, so obviously, so the interaction with the other people is this really unexpected thing that we face, and
now at the end we wanted to talk about like the benefits of like YouTube, the awesome part, but I want to go ahead and talk about it now because I know we spent a lot of time kind of focusing on this, but the interaction with people is honestly the best part of YouTube. Every time that we get an email from someone that is like, we changed their lives, like that just makes our entire day, our entire week. And I read them over and over again. I try really hard to respond to all of them. And so I may not respond right away. It may take me a little bit of time, but know that I do appreciate every single one of your emails and your messages on Facebook and all of that. So that community is amazing. It's just a few bad apples that make it just a little hard sometimes.
Yeah, so that's certainly the flip side. And the vast majority of the people that are interacting with their channel are really positive, and we're building a really great community. So that is that, and it is a distinct minority that of comments that are bad. But obviously, if it was the vast majority, well, then we wouldn't still have a channel, right? So it's not that.
So FYI, just so everyone knows who happens to read this, especially if any trolls pop on, we will block you. So just understand that YouTube is not like a free-for-all. YouTube isn't like, you don't have a right to actually comment on our channel or comment on any of our stuff. So maybe just don't bother because you'll just get deleted and blocked. So, all right. Okay, on to the next thing.
Yeah, so the next thing, much lighter.
Yes, much lighter. That was the hardest one, honestly.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have.
It's harder on me than Joseph. Joseph's like, stop looking at the comments. Just let me do a run through first, and then when I say it's all clear, then you can look. Yeah.
So I tend to just delete the comments, or I'll reply once and then delete the comment and block. But yeah, it's just I really wish we could answer all the good comments because we want to encourage those people and interact. That now our channel has too many comments for us to do that, and so that was one of the sad moments. It's like it's good that your channel grows, but then it's also sad that you lose the the close-knit group that we were having in the beginning. All right, number 2, time management. We feel like we are always needing to be creating videos and or working and or answering comments, strategizing, planning, looking at our analytics.
Like, I feel so bad that we can't answer all the comments anymore. And then I used to not only be able to answer all the comments, but also do follow-up comments to when you have follow-up comments. So it hurts my heart that we can't do it anymore because it just takes up so much time, and we don't do YouTube full time. I think it would take us easily probably 10, 15 hours a week to really like go back and forth on the comments. And unfortunately, we can't.
Yeah, that was really about the breaking point. I was doing comments for at least an hour a day. And so within a week, I was starting to cross the 10-hour-a-week mark where I was answering all these comments. And then that's just too much. Working full time, we couldn't devote that level of time and still make all these videos. And so we had to do that.
And thank you to everyone, all your kind comments in the chat. I am reading them and then we'll chat more at the end, but we want to make sure that we get through these points. And then we'll chat with you guys some more. But I just want to say, Maury pointed out that he or she missed the days when trolls were just like those brightly colored haired dolls. I'm like, me too. I love those trolls.
Yeah. So I think we should move on to the third is dealing with disappointment. We work really hard on our videos, and I know there are a number of really, really good channels that work hard, produce really good content, but sometimes, kind of inexplicably to us, our videos don't do as well as we think they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we pour our heart and soul into a video, and in terms of viewers and numbers, it's just kind of a flop.
Yeah,
and
it's
tough. Definitely. And
because it's sort of like, you're used to, well, at least I'm used to working at a job where if I put in X amount of effort, I will reap X amount of reward. And YouTube is just not like that. Some of the videos, honestly, the videos that took me the absolute longest to edit are some of the videos that have the lowest views, which are our travel vlogs. And I love those, but I don't think that, and I think some of that is like the YouTube algorithm, because the YouTube doesn't even show all of our videos to all of our subscribers. So it's just tough to be kind of like powerless and just kind of sending your baby, this thing that you created, out into the world and just hoping that it gets traction and then watching it flop. Like, it's like watching your children fail. It hurts to watch your children fail.
Yeah, and so then you've got channels that are putting out very similar content, very similar quality, but they've got millions of subscribers, and it's like, well, how did we get there?
Yeah.
How does that not? Where's the disconnect?
And I'm not talking the channels that have been around like 7, 8 years ago. Well, they put in 7 or 8 years to get here. I'm talking about the channels that are newer, that suddenly skyrocket, that you're like, well, now on the other hand, to a lot of people, that is what we look like, the channels that are newer that suddenly skyrocket. And so it's all about like levels of, but on the other hand, we have almost like 240 videos now. So we've been putting out 3 videos a week for almost a year. And that is a lot of content. And
we did almost one a day in December for Vlogmas. We fell a little short at the end, but that was another 20-something videos just in that month. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've really been packing it in.
So Michelle asked, what happens when you share the videos? So it's actually really helpful. It's a signal to YouTube that people like the video if they're willing to share it. So the more that you engage with the video, the more likely YouTube is to show it to more people. So every time you thumbs up, every time you comment, every time you share or add it to a playlist, all of those things really help.
And one of the reasons that the disappointment can be like a little bit, well, even more frustrating is our fourth thing. YouTube is kind of like a black box. There's no instruction manual that comes with YouTube that says this is exactly what you need to do to make it great and be big on YouTube and have successful videos or a successful strategy, cultivating a good following.
Which is tough because just about because this is a path that we really enjoy following, but it's really tough to follow a path that like basically doesn't exist. You're like in the middle of a desert, you have no idea where you're going. And compared to, say, being a lawyer. So if someone is in a high school right now in the inner city flunking all of their classes, I can tell them exactly what they need to do step by step to graduate from a top law school and end up with a six-figure job. And if they do every single thing that I say to do, they will have that. There is nothing like that with YouTube, where it's about the amount of effort you put in, and, some of it is just completely random, and that
Or, well,
hard.
so it seems random.
Yeah.
Part of the thing is we know that YouTube knows what they're doing. We know that they have the algorithms and that they've got huge staff figuring out how to make YouTube the best it can be by recommending the most videos that people enjoy watching in the right ratios to the right people. Like, we know that they have all of that, but we don't know all of that. And so we know that they have the knowledge, but they can't give it to us. And so everybody, there are a lot of how-to YouTube channels where everybody's just making their best educated guesses at figuring out the algorithm.
Like this is your best shot. If you do these things, it should really, really help. And that's all anyone can do unless you're actually YouTube. Now, of course, maybe those channels that actually are over 100,000 subscribers, and so they have their silver play button and that other bonus of having a contact at YouTube that helps them with channel growth, maybe things will change then. We'll let you guys know when we get to 100,000 subscribers.
If they don't make us sign something that says we can't tell you. Oh, that says
we can't, right, okay. Like if we receive new information. So now the last thing that we have that is really, really hard about being a YouTuber is trying to come up with good ideas all the time. When I first started doing YouTube, I just did whatever videos I felt like doing, videos that seemed really, really fun. And so then you start to feel this pressure, not just to do what you feel like doing and what makes you happy, but what people want you to do. And that conflict is tough.
Yeah. So as we've tried to guess at the algorithm, we try to figure out, well, which videos are going to do well and what we think is going to be good types of videos. And it's important that we mesh that with what we want to put out. And so we're trying to figure out which of the videos that we would already put out will also happen to work really well. And so, because we don't want to compromise the message of our channel or anything like that just for the sake of views. Otherwise, we'd probably be putting out like a bunch of fail videos or something like that.
Yeah, or a lot of challenges, which we don't do anymore. Now, we tried out challenges in the beginning for fun, and we may do a challenge if it's something that seems like fun. Like we did spicy noodle challenge because we actually like spicy things. I buy Joseph something spicy every single Christmas. Like I try to find a new variety of spicy thing for him to indulge in. And so the spicy noodle challenge was like along those lines, fun.
She came home from the mall just the other day with some beef jerky that's labeled volcanic hot, and it has a warning on it that after you touch it, you definitely have to wash your hands, don't touch your eyes, keep away from children and pets, and do not use as entertainment. So,
it wasn't even that hot though. I've gotten him hotter things like those nuts that had like a nuclear radiation sign on the front.
Yeah, so she bought me some ghost chili peanuts. They were hot.
So they also have a where you can grow the hottest pepper in the world. So they have the plant there and in the soil, and I almost got it, but knowing our wild and crazy baby Reeves, he will get his hands on that and try to eat it, and next thing you know, we'll be in the emergency room.
Yeah.
So okay, so that is, I think, the last thing that I want to say that is really hard for us, and we hadn't planned on saying it, but I think it's important to say, as our channel gets bigger, we're starting to do more sponsored videos, not because we haven't had access to sponsored videos. And people have been trying to get us to sponsor videos since our channel was probably about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. And we've always said no, because we've never felt like the brands that were approaching us were brands that we actually wanted, that we believed in their product and that we wanted to recommend and that resonated with us and our channel, because we're not just going to promote something just to promote something. And we have the luxury of being in that position where YouTube is not our primary source of income. So if our YouTube income goes down, we're still financially okay, unlike some other YouTubers who rely primarily on YouTube and so don't have that same kind of flexibility. But it's tough to like feeling like it's not okay to do sponsored videos. And thankfully, just about everyone has been really, really supportive with us with our sponsored videos. Just like, we just want you to know that we don't take every, not even, I don't even know, like not even 5% of what's offered to us do we actually consider moving forward.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there are tons of people, there are tons of brands, many brands that reach out to us directly that we don't even say, hey, I'm interested. And then there are lots that we could apply for to be selected and that we think we have a good shot, but we don't, because we don't want to be in the business of just pushing things left and right. And it's good that we can be the screen for what we think, hey, yeah, this is a good deal. This is something that can work. And you don't have to see all the different offers that we could.
But and so the struggle of finding that balance is really real. But I do want to say, like, for all YouTubers, for any of the other YouTubers that you watch, just know that sponsored videos are an important part of a YouTube channel, like a creator's income, especially because YouTube itself is free with just some ads. And so I think just about every single creator out there they're creating because they love creating, and they're not going to, most of us will not do a sponsored video if it's not something that they truly recommend and that they think is a valuable product. So, if people could understand that for all creators everywhere, I think that would be just really, really awesome.
Well, and just realistically, YouTube also doesn't pay as much as it did at one time. And for channels to go out and bring great content, I mean, there are a number of expenses that we have. And it's like, I mean, think about if the computer that you use for video editing breaks, well, you know that its specs aren't going to be just an everyday browse the internet computer. It's going to cost a couple $1,000 or $1,500 to get the comparable thing that you had. And it's like, well, where does that money come from? That might be more than a month's worth of YouTube money, but you might, with a few sponsored videos, you might be able to get that faster. I mean, it all adds up. It's shocking how much, how much we end up spending trying to make our videos as best as we can. So that's
and if you want more details on what our expenses look like, we do monthly income reports on our website, onebighappylife.com, where we talk about what's going on with our website, what's going on with our YouTube channel, and how we're making money and how much we're making. And so you can follow along on the journey there, because like I see so many bloggers who are like, oh, I make $100,000 a month, and I'm like, well, I can't relate to that. So I like putting out our little baby numbers so that anyone who's coming along behind us can follow, and also so that we can look back a year from now on the journey to say, okay, well, this is where we started. Look at where we are now. Because you're the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself, which I guess is another YouTuber struggle, comparing ourselves to other more successful, bigger channels. And it's like, well, why did their video get this many views? And why did they get this many thumbs up and comments? And why don't we? And, it's just, comparison is horrible. So we just try to focus on being better than we were yesterday, and that's not tied to subscribers and views as much as just trying to put out better and better content over time.
Right. Okay, so why do we still do it, even though there are all these pressures and competing things like that? Well, so at the end of the day, we really do enjoy creating the videos, and that's number one. So we enjoy the process of actually capturing the things.
Hi, Tanika.
and then doing the editing, really pulling it together. It's fun for us to actually make the videos, and then also doing the strategy and of running the YouTube business, and so that's where we get the reward from, just having a lot of fun, creating something that we otherwise wouldn't. Because if you're just doing home videos, you might still really like to create videos, but you're not going to be as compelled to do it necessarily, because you don't get to build that habit.
And so even more importantly, though, is that we believe in our message. We believe that you can be happy, you can create a life that you love, and you can find creative solutions to your financial problems that help you enjoy life today, and also to have a strong plan for your financial future. Sorry, I caught a comment from a troll that you guys can't see because it was automatically blocked. It's that bad. Okay. And so we're just really, really passionate about it. And I know, like, for me personally, growing up, I didn't have anyone telling me that, that I could do whatever I wanted, that, that my life is full of potential, and that even though I have temporary setbacks, that doesn't mean that I can't pick myself up and go on and do bigger and better things, even dreaming massively big, and so that's why I'm happy that we are able to put that message out there for other people who also don't have that in their lives right now. But you can just start working towards it.
Yeah. Also on the personal level for us, doing YouTube has really encouraged us to be learning new things that we never would have learned before, and also it's giving us a lot of new experiences, and so I think in that nature too, it's been really rewarding for us, in a number of ways, like Tasha was saying, with sending out our message, but then also just learning this whole new side of information that we otherwise wouldn't be learning about.
So now we're going to just answer a couple of questions. So if you had a question up above, just go ahead and ask it again if you're still here. So Mel Faith says, are we quitting because of the low ratings? So no, we actually don't have, we feel very happy with where our channel is and how it's growing. And our channel's only a year and a half old, so we're really, really excited about it. And we also love doing it. I think we would only consider quitting if we really didn't love doing it. And I think we would try, like, if we started hating it, then we would quit.
Yeah, so any business venture, any activity is a cost-benefit analysis. And so it's not, so it's how much enjoyment we get out of making the videos and how much we enjoy connecting with people, in addition to how much time it's taking us. Well, so if something happened where we had less free time to be making videos, and we couldn't hit our 3 videos a week, and if that was a chain that then started a decline of our channel or something like that, well, then we might reach this point where it's like, well, maybe putting out as many videos isn't worth it anymore, or we'll go down to 1 video a week, or maybe if something really unusual happens and we just start shrinking, then maybe we'll reach a point where we wouldn't put any new content out, or very rarely. But nothing soon.
Yeah. So I'm going to say hi, Grace. I'm going through the comments right now, so just go ahead and chat stuff, and we will go through it. So hi, Grace. Jada says she appreciates our channel because she's 18 and the channel is helping her think about her future. That is awesome. There is so much. Even if you're 55 or 60, you still got a good 25 years in you. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish in that amount of time. It's never too late to start living the life that you've always wanted to live, because just doing that, the act of doing it day in and day out, just feels really, really good. So I'm glad that we are inspiring you in that way. Yellow 468 says we both look great. Thank you. Keto diet week 2. Let's see, for me anyway, not Joseph. And it's just going really well. I'm so excited about it. Okay, will there be more law school type videos? I guess we need to do one. Law school FAQ part 2 died. We lost the footage, and so I never went back and reshot it. So yes, we should do another law school video.
Around this time last year, we had a hard drive just completely crash, and so we have many more backups of things now, or we're supposed to, when somebody follows the protocols. but we had a hard drive fail, and then we lost, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos that are just gone. So we didn't go back.
Yeah. So, but we will. Okay. Glue Guns and Roses says we'll be huge YouTube peeps in the next year. I hope so. That'd be exciting.
You have a fantastic YouTube channel name. I love it.
Yes, I do too.
Every time I read it, I tell her.
Yes. Positively Udo asks, how did you market your channel to grow it consistently? So the answer is we didn't. We really didn't.
We just kept, I mean, we did focus on putting out a certain number of videos than anything else.
So honestly, consistency was the first thing to help our channel gain traction. And then, you know, we tried to make good looking thumbnails. And what helped with that is, so we both knew how to take pictures, like, you know, amateur, like family photos, because we've been taking our own family photos for years. So, you know, when we shot our thumbnails, we would just, you know, and then I would put like interesting titles on it, which might have helped it stand out a little bit, you know, and so there's that. I wear makeup to look more attractive in the thumbnails because, you know, let's be real, it's video. And so people are, you know, they want to see pretty faces. So you know, like I gotta keep it real with you guys.
I tell her she doesn't need to be wearing makeup, but she says,
because I wear makeup for you guys. Yeah. But
I don't wear makeup, just so everybody knows.
So you will see me on the channel without makeup from time to time, but just not in a main video where we're sitting down talking. You're more likely to see me without makeup in a vlog because that is my natural state on a day-to-day basis. But if in terms of how you promote your channel, I would say generally, you know, you have your social media platform. So you link to your channel on Twitter, on Instagram, also have a blog, and you can share your videos into Pinterest, but I find that that doesn't work as well as putting your videos in a blog post and then sharing that on Pinterest. So then people will come over from Pinterest and expect to see a blog post, and they see a blog post, but then they also see a video and they're like, oh, this is nice. And then they click on it and they watch it. So those are the best ways to promote yourself. But of course, the absolute best way to promote yourself is to go to someone who already has an audience and ask if they want to collab with you. And so that you can introduce yourself to their audience, a set group of people that are coming in anyway. But that's really hard to do when you're much smaller, to try to get a channel that's much bigger than you to collaborate with you, because it's like, well, what's in it for them? So
Adriana has a question about editing. How we learned to edit and how hard was it? I think she said how did we learn?
You skipped one.
Whoops.
So just one. Okay, you say yours first. Okay.
Okay. So editing is not that hard. So on a scale from 0 to what did I get myself into, I would say it's really more like a 3, because there are easy softwares to use to do basic editing. And then only if you choose to want to do more advanced things does it start to get complicated. And oh my gosh, it can get very, very complicated. Like if you want to do motion graphics and animations that you do yourself.
Did you mention that we're self-taught? Did you say that?
No.
Yeah, we just taught ourselves how to do it. And some of it was on Adobe's website. Some of it was on lynda.com. So we buy courses.
Well, that's not self-taught if you buy a course.
Well, okay. But I mean, we learned it from, so we learned it from courses. That's how we pay for courses that teach us how to do stuff. Okay.
There are a couple, there's one channel that I watch that uses Adobe Premiere Pro, Video Revealed. The man's name's Colin Smith. He has good quality tutorials on Premiere Pro.
We also watch Peter McKinnon for some of the super high-end stuff that we're like, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that. But some of his stuff was really helpful. Like he taught me how to nest for camera footage from multiple cameras and switch between the two, which I did in our nighttime routine video. It made it easy to switch between the two cameras.
I bet nobody knows.
So going back to, well, sorry, just got the technical, guys. So Juan had a question. Juan De Silva asked, he says, thanks so much for your transforming and positive videos. Thank you. How do you politely decline brand sponsorships, or do you respond at all? So we try to respond to all of them and just say, you know, thank you, but we don't think that this would be a good fit for our audience. And we don't think that we can make authentic content around this. Or if it's something that we are interested in, At this point, we've decided that we're not going to be paid in product. So if they want us to do a sponsorship, then they do need to pay us. And so we would say, like, at this time, we are not doing, partnerships that aren't paid. So because it takes a lot of work to create a sponsored video that is very, very authentic. We never want it to be primarily about the product. It's got to be about something else, about how we use the product, and where we're giving lots of value in the video. And so that takes a lot of extra work to make sure that there's tons in there, because we also, like, say it was a backpack and we did our travel essentials video. Well, they may not want us to show all these other things from competing brands. And so it's like, well, how do we make a video just about the one backpack? Even though we would love to include that backpack in a video because we have it and we use it, Osprey.
You're looking for somebody to
We're looking
backpacks.
at you. No, I'm just kidding. But we do all have Osprey backpacks. But yeah, we just kind of say, like, it's not going to be a good fit, or we do actually need to get paid. And that's the end of that.
And that's enough. You just tell them it's not a fit. And then it's like, oh, okay, they've got lots of channels to pitch to.
Okay, Jada says she wants to be a lawyer. Do we have any tips off the top of our head? So just really quick, you need to have a very good LSAT, a very good GPA, especially if you want to go to Yale. But even having a perfect GPA and a perfect LSAT is not enough to get you into Yale. I say spend tons and tons of time on your personal statement. Make sure you have basically everything needs to be good. You need to have excellent recommendations. You need to have some good extracurriculars to separate you from the crowd. So sorry, like, I wish I could say that it was something more than that. And you really take your time with your 250, which is the small personal statement, the additional personal statement that Yale requires. Like,
Did she say Yale specifically?
Yeah, she said she wants to go to Yale. So my 250 was bomb. It was so good. I love it. And so I spent a lot of time and I wrote many, many, many. It took me like 6 months to really perfect all of my applications. Oh, and apply as soon as the applications open up. So I applied like the day applications could be submitted. I got into Duke 2 weeks later. So it was like September. I got to Duke in like mid-September. By Thanksgiving, I had gotten into Harvard. And then by December, I had gotten into Yale. And so I think it really helps to just have your applications in as soon as possible, because they're seeing yours like in that first pile and you wow them. They're like, oh yeah, definitely taking this person. So, and they will have already notified you were admitted. So no backseas. So those are the tips. So
what inspired us to go live with this? I don't know what the particular reason was.
Sometimes we like doing lives to be able to chat with you guys.
Yeah, it's a little more interactive. Sometimes it can actually be faster.
Yes, so no editing. So this video, when we're done, is just going to go up on YouTube and it's going to be done. Now, we always say when we're going live, oh, it's just going to be like 10, 15 minutes.
She said it's only going to be 10, 15 minutes.
And then it's an hour later.
And then once she starts, though, then it's definitely going to be longer.
And it's so much easier for us to let our normal personalities really show through on a live video than on a structured video where we're trying to make sure that we stay under 12 minutes and that we deliver the content, everything you need to know as quickly as possible, so there isn't a whole bunch of fluff, and that it is as accurate as possible. It's really hard to just be yourself when you're trying to give you as much information as possible in a tiny package. So that's why we like doing this.
Okay, so we don't do legal advice videos.
Mm-hmm. None of our videos are legal advice. Or they are for entertainment purposes only and informational purposes only. And should you need legal advice, you should contact an attorney. That's in the disclaimer of every single one of our description boxes. Okay.
I'd say just a couple more questions and then we've got to go.
So thank you for all the positive messages. We really, really appreciate every single one of you subscribing to our channel and, being super supportive.
And thanks for everybody, tuning in and watching us on this live.
David says we're helping him out with his financial journey, and now he's interviewing at Vanguard. That is awesome. Good luck, David. How long does it, okay, it just shift. Adriana asks, how long does it take us to, did you already read that? How long does it take us to edit our videos?
Oh, how long?
Oh, so our sit down talker videos are fully outlined before we sit down to do it. So we generally know what we're going to say. And so we tend to not make too many mistakes at this point. So I can edit and upload one of those in under an hour. The Singapore vlogs, some of those took 6 or 7 hours to edit.
Yeah, you're way up the top. You go way down.
Oh, no, I'm at the bottom. Okay.
No.
I am at the bottom. This is the bottom.
But I've seen that a long time ago.
Oh, I am at the bottom.
Something's going on. Scroll.
Okay, so I'm just going to go from the bottom and work up. So is it possible, honestly, Rachel, is it possible for you to vote for a house tour? We would give you a house tour if the whole house was ever clean at one time. Like
we do it in sections.
Tears the house apart. So we are working towards having the entire house clean at one time so that we can do a tour, not including the garage.
I think it'll be more uneventful than people must think that it's going to be.
Danielle asked, would we ever do DNA results videos? Yes, we really, really want to do that. I just have to figure out, a friend of mine, Nicole, she was like, she just did hers. And she found out that she had way more European ancestry than she was expecting. So we had a good laugh about that when we went out for a couple's dinner night the other night. But she said we should do it, and I agree, we should do it. The hardest thing about law school, well, for me, it was actually having to work hard. No, seriously, there's a huge volume of information. It's taught very differently from regular school because you're reading casebooks and you kind of have to figure it out. It's sort of like being given, and like instead of being given a textbook, you're given, I don't even know, field notes from the researchers, and then you've got to put together the hypothesis on your own. Like, who even does that? Law school.
Yeah, I mean, the legal profession, it's been shown the way that they teach the law is just about the worst way that you could possibly convey information to somebody.
Yeah.
But they continue to do it just because that's the way they've always done it. And so it's a fact that it's a terrible way to learn, but you have to do it just because.
Yeah, Osprey is amazing. I wish I had learned about this backpack thing a long time ago because I am so done with the rolly bags. So done with the rolly bags. Okay, how's the weight reduction going? You're just going to have to watch Keto Week 2, which should come out on Sunday. So stay tuned. No spoilers around here.
And I just did I did my update just over the weekend. So it's going well. Stephanie
asked, how do we stay so organized? It's a work in progress. We are not perfect. And I feel like we need to do a video about how not perfect we are and how our best laid plans fall to the wayside sometimes. But it's not about perfection. It's just about progress and learning from what works and what doesn't work. And I will say we've had a lot of upheaval in our lives that we don't really talk about that much. So we've moved a lot. And, we have a baby, and now, we do work full-time jobs that keep us out of the house for, 12 hours a day. And then we also do YouTube. And so figuring out and then we now also do the website. So figuring out how to balance all of those things, we need a period of time where nothing is changing to establish a strong routine, but we're definitely getting there little by little.
We are at least very, very hopeful to get there where it's always a routine. But, it seems like there's always something gigantic thing that's about to shift. And so it's like, well, when did that ever stop? And basically it doesn't. You just kind of ride the wave and go as best you can.
So how did I learn to cook so well? So first of all, Joseph can cook just as well as I can. I just want to, no one's ever seen Joseph cook because we trade off. So one of us does the laundry and one of us does the cooking. When one of us gets tired of the chore, then we switch. So I've been cooking since the channel started, and we have not made the switch.
It's been a while since we switched, but so I did all the meal prep. Oh gosh, so when we lived in Philadelphia,
Joseph cooked
I
the
cooked
whole
the
time
entire time that we
were
were there, and then I cooked it started when we moved here, and then I switched back for a while, and then it's been a long time since I've switched. But I actually have meal prep videos that I've never completely finished that I could just put out, and then you can see.
And then you can see him cook. But yeah, we just look up recipes on the internet, and then we end up having favorite sort of go-to websites that we know are great. But we're going to put out a video on how to meal prep, and I will explain my process. But yeah, it's basically just years and years of trying different things and just not being afraid to be adventurous with food. And eventually you'll just start to know your way around the kitchen and you'll get comfortable.
Will we do a video on how to save as a single parent?
I am an ENTJ. Glue guns and roses. You are good.
What?
Is it Myers-Briggs? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did I?
Saving as a single parent. I don't know that. I don't know how to save as a single parent.
So,
I can theorize.
So to be honest, it's not any different from saving as a dual income couple. You just have less of,
or maybe less.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you could be balling for all we know. But yes, will we have more kids? Hopefully we'd like one more, just one, no more than one more. Unless it's twins, then okay too. But aside from that, just the one. I would love to have one more. So I would love to get down to, we are trying right now, but I would also have a baby.
Oh.
You're funny. But I would love to get down to a healthier weight before I get pregnant. We're not going to stop trying. But I also hear that keto can help. I also hear that keto can help with infertility. So, and we've had struggles conceiving in the past. So I'm hoping that, that'll work.
One of our favorite recipe websites,
Budget Bites.
I found it, and it's only grown. So we've been following Budget Bites for a long time, and I think now it's really taken off.
Yeah, and so I'm on keto now, so I've been looking at Keto Connect. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know how much of their stuff I will do, because they have a lot of substitute baked good things, and I kind of want to get away from that. Like, even if I go back to carbs eventually, I want to minimize the amount of bread and pasta in my diet, because I honestly feel like I feel a lot better when I'm not consuming those things. So I don't know how much I'm going to use their recipes going forward, because it's just really easy to be keto. You just need to cook a chicken or cook a steak or saute some shrimp and you're good. And I feel like keeping it simple. So yesterday I did my weekly meal prep for just me. 30 minutes, I was done. And I like that. I like keeping it simple like that.
Okay, guys, I think we've got to wrap up and go.
Bed. And Alexis is giving us a look like, guys, y'all said 15 minutes and it's been almost an hour.
Yeah.
Hi, Aurora in Germany.
So that's what happens with these lives.
Yes.
So
but so awesome chatting with you guys. And thank you for all of your kind comments, especially in the beginning where I completely lost my composure and you learned that I am a big softie on the inside. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Bye.